Howdy folks, it's January 4th, 2:12 in the afternoon. Linda has really wanted to have a door up here to go outside and enter the house through the garage. So I know I've been talking about the door jamb that I had made, and here it is. It's this white. See, it goes around, there's the opening, and actually here's my plywood door that I put up, but it comes down. I had thought I'd put hinges there, but I'll just cover those because with this plywood door it's not conducive to, I want to use bigger hinges. So this took quite a bit of time. The process that we went through, you have these kind of gaps so that you can slide your jamb frame in. And on this side, I don't have as big a gaps. But to get this thing straight, our process was we put a level up at the top to make sure that it was even. And then just put in a couple of little nails just to hold it so that it would stay there. And then we worked on this side and we used our big long 6-foot level and we came on down, made sure it was level. Here we were able to just use shims, put a shim on this side, shim on that. Now this door jamb is 8.5 inches thick. It's a 2x6 wall, but it's thicker because of the fact that we had to have an extension that we put in on the outside here. But I'm real pleased with how it turned out. What we did to try to get it where it should be is we put 2x4s on this side of the door, 2x4s on that side of the door when there was no door here, but on the opening. And then I clamped them together tight so that I would get this nice and tight up against the frame here. Did somewhat the same thing up here, except that I didn't have, I wasn't able to do how I wanted to do it there. And I think I'm off just a touch, maybe a 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch. Then what we did, I went to lunch at Culver's, Linda went home, came back and I hung the door. I've got that, we're out in the garage, but I had to put this up, this board here, so that I would be able to do my hinges on the outside. It was just going to be a lot easier, and since this is temporary, that's fine. This is still a 4-foot sheet of plywood, and it's obviously overlaps about 1 foot. So we've got a lot of good things going. It took us a long time. We put up some bigger shims up here, and here, and there, and down at the bottom. But and then I had a couple of 2x4s that were cut to size so that I knew just how far. So I knew I was as far apart at the bottom as I am at the top, which is fixed. So that's a little bit about doing door jambs. I'm hoping that going forward, they'll go a lot quicker. But we'll see how that works. From here on in, when I put a door jamb in, I'll also be putting in the finished door. I'm real pleased with this. I've put in enough of them in the other 2 houses that we've lived in to know that if you do it lousy the first time, all you're going to do is have doors that are out of sync, bigger gaps at the top on one edge than the other, and then they're crooked in the frame, and it just it's a real pain. Anyways, that's hanging doors. I don't know if I showed you yesterday on the video what I was doing downstairs as far as making my cherry newel posts. I know I wrote about it in the blog. I don't know if I've posted anything on it yet, but I'll just give you a little look-see. We're down in the workshop here. My newel posts are going to be 5 inches by 5 inches. So they're, for instance, this pack here, I can tell you probably is pretty darn close to 5 inches wide. And so that post will be 5 boards. On this side, I've got them cut at 5 1/4. And what I'll end up doing is gluing them all together, and I won't have to plane this side of the board or the other side because they've already been planed. All I'll have to do is joint or plane these edges, and when I glue them up, what I'll do is I'll take some angle iron and put an angle iron on the bottom and one on the top, and then have clamps on either side that pull these even. And because I ran them all through my table saw here, so they're all the same size, and that angle iron and those clamps will make sure that these things are perfectly even, and then it'll be a lot easier to do the jointing. Now I've made them 5 1/4 wide on the face so that I can have 1/4 inch to joint away the problems that I might have. Now on here, what I'll do is if I have, you see here I've got on this board an X, I want to cut that piece out. I've probably got the same thing over on some of these other boards. Yeah, there's a couple of X's. And what I'll do is get these straightened up so that I have less jointing and planing to do and less cutting to do once it's all assembled, because that's going to be 5 inches and it's going to be a lot of work to get it down to the proper size. So that's where we're at. Thanks for following our progress. It's a red letter day today.